Whoa! I am in Kisaju, and today I'm gonna show you this estate. This estate is in the middle of the African Savannah, and it's a very nice estate. And what happens is that when I keep walking, you'll see I'll walk until I'm out of the African Savannah. So this is Kisaju Plains, and this estate is known as Jabibora Macau. As you can see, we have some nice houses inside here. You can see the bungalows over there, and see the roads inside here. They are not tarmac, but nonetheless they're just passable roads. And you can see a lot of motorcycles, these boda bikes. These are the ones that provide transport in the estate. Yeah, so look at it, so nice. So now this estate is in Kenya, somewhere in Kisaju Plains. Kisaju Plains is in Kajiado County, somewhere 120-30 kilometers to Namanga border between Kenya and Tanzania. So this estate was just carved in the middle of the African Savannah, so that when you stay in this estate, you have the privilege of meeting gazelles, ostriches. You have the privilege of meeting zebras and the likes. So today, this evening, I'm just walking through in the African Savannah, just taking content, and representing myself in this one of the best wonderful estates that you find in East Africa, Kenya. So my channel is Nabakwe on Safari, and I'm on safari, and today I am in Kisaju Plains in an estate called Jabibora Macau. This estate is in Kisaju Plains. Kisaju Plains is in Kajiado. Kajiado is in Kenya. Kenya is in East Africa. So just have a look. Very nice houses here. Most interesting is that when I keep walking, you'll just see me go outer, you'll see me in the middle of the African Savannah. But before then, just enjoy the views. Yeah, this is just an estate, as I'm telling you, that is carved in the middle of the African Savannah. Yeah, very nice. You can see kids playing, and you have some very wonderful bungalows. Actually, this estate sits on 700 acres of land, and it has like 1,000 units of different type of houses, which are demarcated in neighborhoods, so that you have neighborhood 4, 5, 6. Here one is yet to be constructed, but it is what it is, man. This is in the middle of the African Savannah. So as I keep walking, you'll see me outside the African Savannah. Yeah, and if you look at the grass, you realize that it's drying. Yeah, it's drying. It's been green, but now during this dry season, it's drying. And as you can see, this is cow dung. When you see this cow dung, you know you're in Maasai area, because there are cows everywhere. Maasai cows everywhere. Have a look at that. Very nice. A gated estate inside there. And those are very wonderful bungalows. Very wonderful. So wonderful bungalows, And cow dung everywhere. This is Maasai land. Yeah, look at those. Look these sides. And most interestingly, there are lots of trees. In this estate, lots of trees. Lots of trees. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. And if you look here now, this is a water point. This is a massive water point. This is a massive water point. This water point here serves the whole community. It provides water to all these units. So it's a massive water point, as you can see. You can even hear the sounds of water dripping. And this over here, you see some very wonderful bungalows as well. Wonderful bungalows, I'm telling you. And this is a humongous, a huge water point. Now what happens is that this water point provides water to 1,000 units, more than 1,000 units in this estate, so that even if it's in a dry African savanna, the residents of this estate, nonetheless, they don't lack water. Yeah, so this is the massive water point. And if you look at this side, you see the bungalows. You see the bungalows everywhere, and the birds are chirping. And guys, I'm headed on. I'm still in the middle of the African savanna. Yeah, I am in the middle of the African savanna. Because as I'm going, I'm just headed. When I get out of the estate, you'll see me. I'll be out. I'll be outside. Look at those. Very nice places here. Very nice bungalows. You can't expect to have this in the middle of the African savanna, but nonetheless, this is what you get in the midst of the African savanna. As you can see before me is a mosque. This mosque serves the people of Muslim faith who reside in the African savanna, so that if you're Muslim and you want to do your prayers, you want to go to a mosque, you just covered, you know. You just covered. Yeah, this is a mosque. Yeah, this is a mosque, and this one is for Muslims. So Muslims who live in the African savanna here in Kisaju Plains, they have a place for prayer, you know, a prayer center for them, a community, yeah, so that they congregate here, you know, and worship Allah. And back to back, this one in front of me is a church. This is for Christians. So you have a Christian's church here, and you have a mosque for the Muslims here. And I don't know if you can see the other side. You have that permanent building over there is also a church. Yeah, I think it's an Anglican church, something of this sort. So I'm headed to the African savanna. Yeah, I'm in the middle of the African savanna. Check out that bird. And birds do chirp here, I'm telling you. And the sunsets here are magical, only that the weather, for now, the weather is not sunny. So, and it's in the evening, so you won't see those magical sunsets. You won't see those magical sunsets. No, you can't see them because it's not rainy. Now, if you watch my videos, you go back, you'll see I took a clear shot of the sunset here, and it was so magical. Whoa, look at that. You see, I'm from the estate, and as I told you, I am in the middle of the African savanna. You see, look at all those grasslands. Wow, look at that vast grasslands, which is characteristic of the African savanna, and the plains, and they go. They go upwards to Namanga, yeah, which is the border between Kenya and Tanzania. And also, when you cross the border, there you also find Maasai, because, you know, these countries, you know, they were just divided by the colonial master. I don't know what yardstick he was using to divide these countries, but what I'm telling you, because like if you go to the borders between Kenya and Tanzania, you find Maasai. If you have Maasai in this area, the other area when you cross, you also find Maasai. Now, the very same thing happens even in the western part, so that when you go to Balamba border, you find similar tribes just living either side of the border. If you also go to Hispania, yeah, there is also a border between Kenya and Tanzania. And equally important, you'll find people coexisting. And interestingly, you find that the people coexist, and you find people of the same tribe, like the Kurias. Yeah, you might have Kurias in Kenya and Kurias in Tanzania. So that's what happens. That is to tell you that that we are just one and the same people. The colonial master decided to do his thing the way he deemed fit. So now, as you can see, look at that. Vast grasslands. Vast grasslands. And interestingly, here, this place is reserved for pitch. Would you imagine having a pitch in the middle of the African savannah? A complete pitch. Yeah? Where people come and play football. As you can see, even if you can see, guys are practicing here. So you have a full-fledged pitch here in the African savannah. Yeah? So that people can come here if you want to exercise, if you want to play football, or whatever the case, you just come to this area here. It's reserved for that. But nonetheless, you can see the birds just flying and chirping, you know, flying and chirping. So this is the African savannah for you. So that is the pitch. Then if you look, those are grasslands, and they go and go and go. Vast land, and you see those mansions over there. In the front there, you have very nice mansions. Very nice mansions over there. So this is the African savannah for you. And the breeze here is heavenly, I'm telling you. And as I told you, the sunsets are magical. So what is happening? If you look at my previous videos, you realize 1, 2, 3 months ago, this place was so green because it was a rainy season in the African savannah. But as you can see right now, this grass is just dry. And it's drying up. You know, it normally dries in the African savannah so that it becomes a problem. You can't even get water, you know. Cattle can't find grass to feed, you know. It becomes so bad. Yeah? And so we are headed to that season where everything dries up. So as you can see, everything is drying up. Yeah? Everything is drying up. Everything is drying up. As I told you, this here is the church. Yeah? So I just went round. As you can see, that is the church over there. And cow dung everywhere. Cow dung everywhere, cow dung everywhere. That shows you are in Maasai land because they rear cattle. Birds chirping. Birds chirping everywhere. So you can see birds chirping everywhere. See? Let me just show you. And the trees you get here, you get the cactus tree, you know, because these are the kind of trees you get in the savannah. Yeah, these trees, different trees. Look at this. Look at them birds. Look at them birds. Look at them birds. And they're just flying slowly, you know. So this is the African savannah. Yeah. These are the kind of trees that can survive here, and you know they are so thorny. Yeah. You see, and it's grass everywhere. Grass everywhere. Grass everywhere. So this is the African savannah for you. It's drying up, and it will keep drying, I'm telling you. If you look there, you can see the sun has decided to show up. Wow, look at that. Okay, let me try to find a clear shot of the sunset, because the sun has decided to show up, and I have to look for a place where I can give you a clean shot of the sun before it goes down again, or before it's covered by clouds, you know. Let me try my level best. So what is happening is that this place is normally so hot. There's a lot of sun, but during the month of June, it is a bit cold. Yeah, and it gets cold mainly 3 a.m. in the morning up to maybe 8 a.m. Then from there now it's heat as usual. The sun is there as usual, so everything is drying up. Look at that. Look look at that sunset there. Let me just try to find the best clear shot I can get of that sunset. Look at that. Look at that. And look at that. My goodness. All that. Vast grasslands. My goodness. And look at that. That is the birds chirping. There are lots of bird species in the African savanna. So look at that. That is the sunset over there. The sun is going down. Though not clear because it's covered by clouds, but nonetheless, you can see a very good view. So magnificent, my goodness. Whoa! That is magnificent. Yeah? It's so far away and it's just going down. And then if you look around, it's in the evening, you can see vast grasslands. Yeah? And you have an estate in the middle of this African savanna. So it's getting late. It's getting so late here, and everything is becoming dark. But as you can see, this is the African savanna. Whoa! Whoa! This looks good. This looks good. This is so good. This is so good. And the roads are dusty. The breeze here, as I told you, is heavenly. You can see the way the dry grass is just, being blown out by the wind. It's just being blown by the wind. And you can see, look at that. This is the African savanna. You have vast grasslands, and the grass is drying. It's drying out. 3 weeks ago, this was green. This was as green as it could get. It was as green as it could get. And here you hear the sounds of aeroplanes, because Jomo Kenyatta International Airport isn't that far. It should be like around like 70 to 80 kilometers or 100, I'm not quite sure. So you have a route here, for the planes, the big ones, so that people who are coming to Kenya, you just hear them flying over your head. Oh, look at this dog. Oh, it's just running away. It's not that friendly, it's just running away. It's afraid of me. So this is Kisaju Plains. This is Kisaju Plains. And you have an estate in the middle of the African savanna. One day I'll just run a whole documentary about this estate, tell you how it became to being, tell you how people coexist here, how they also relate with the Maasai, because it's just an estate that was carved in the middle of the African savanna. And this is Maasai land, so that's a story for another day. I will also do some interviews with the locals here so that they can tell you more, can give us more information about this estate and how they survived. Because from here to the main road, that is the Namanga road that goes to Tanzania, from Nairobi to Tanzania, should be like around 7 to 8 kilometers. Oh, very nice. Should be like 7 to 8 kilometers, which is no joke. So you can imagine. And the only mode of transport is like that one you've seen, a boda rider, like that one. That's the only mode of transport you have from this estate. Yeah, from this estate to the roads. That is the only mode of transport that you have. Even this one only is another one. So this is the kind of transport you just have. Motorcycles, they are called boda here in Kenya. So these are the only ones you have that will take you from this estate to the main road. This is the only mode of transport you got when you're here. So I'll talk to the locals, let them tell us how they survive and how they make a living here. Because when you're in the middle of the African savanna, we don't have factories inside here. There are no factories, you know. So the kind of hustles they do, how they make a living, because there's a school inside here and the kids go to school, you have families. So I'll have an interview with some of the locals, you know, one-on-one interview, so that they can let us understand more about this estate that is found in the middle of the African savannah. If you saw, I just walked and I was in the middle of the African savannah, and because it was in the evening, I decided to come back, because I hear hyenas. A hyena could could make you you could turn to be supper for a hyena, you know, that kind of thing. So whoa,